Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing an exciting video. I've been wanting to film this all week, but it's the best of 2017. I'm so excited to talk to you guys about my favorite products of 2017. I think 2017 was wonderful for like the makeup world and there were so many launches, but the products that I'm talking to you about aren't necessarily all brand new launches. A lot of them are just products that I discovered as my personal favorites and incorporated into my routine in 2017. They may have come out like years ago that I absolutely love, and I'm so excited to share those products with you today. So if you guys enjoy makeup tutorials and product reviews, this would be the perfect time to subscribe to my channel. I post videos daily at 8 p.m. PST, and without further ado, if you want to see how I got this look and my favorite products, the best products of 2017, then keep on watching. So the first thing that I always do before I start filming and before I start just doing my makeup in the morning is use the NYX This Is Everything lip oil to hydrate my lips. I love this product because I really feel like it gets my lips prepped for any liquid lipstick, and that's 90% of the time what I am wearing on my lips. Next thing I do, my favorite thing is I just love like sprays and primer waters and all sorts of things. So I start with the Mario Badescu Rose Water Spray. This actually says that it's aloe, herbs, and rose water. I got this little guy from Urban Outfitters, but you can get them like in so many places. So I just feel like this wakes my face up and gives me a little bit of hydration. You can use it to set your makeup as well, but I use it like as I start to prime my face. So my favorite primer of 2017, I'm sure you can guess this if you've been watching my videos, is the Fenty Beauty Primer. This is like, I'm pretty sure 90% of people's favorite primer. Oily skin, dry skin, I've heard people like across the board love this primer. I don't even have like a second one to recommend to you, but what I can say that I've been enjoying this year, that's not a primer but I use it under my makeup, is the Ofra and Kim Tai Wonderlush Moisturizer. This stuff is gorgeous. So I'm going to go in with this Fenty Beauty primer, and I'm obsessed with the smell of it. I don't know what it smells like, but it's so like it's such a nostalgic scent, but I can't figure out what it reminds me of. Alright, and so for my high-end foundation, I actually have two foundations which are my favorite. It is the Huda Beauty Foundation and the Fenty Beauty Foundation. Now these are two completely different foundations on my face. This one is actually a shade darker for me, but I've been mixing it with other foundations and it's worked like extremely well in my makeup routine. I don't know that I have another foundation that is as full coverage as this, that is a high-end foundation. So for this tutorial, I'm going in with the Fenty Beauty Foundation. This is in the color 420. The thing that I love about this foundation is that it's medium and it's buildable as well. So if you keep pumping, you could get all the way to full coverage, and it's super comfortable. It's lightweight. It doesn't feel like there's anything on your face. I have problematic skin and acne prone skin, and I feel like this agrees with me. It's super matte as well, which is the kind of foundation that I need because I will be like an oil slick by the end of the day, and there's very few foundations that I can actually make it through my day with, and this is a matte foundation that is long lasting, great coverage, and feels like there's nothing on your face. So obsessed. So the next thing that I'm obsessed with doing is cream contouring. I almost do this every single time I do my makeup, and there's two products that I like to use for my cream contour. I like the Fenty Beauty Matchstick, and this is in the color Espresso, and then I also like the Anastasia Beverly Hills foundation stick in the shade Cool Earth. I believe this is a contouring foundation stick. This is slightly creamier and this is way more like matte, and so I like to use this in combination with this specific foundation, but they both work incredibly well. Something that I've been doing lately to make this one a little bit more creamier and easier to apply, because it does have such a dry hand, is actually to warm it up. I always have like matches like around like where my candles are, or one of these lighters. So I'm going to show you right now how this will apply. If you apply it like directly to your hand, it looks like it's really creamy, but I don't feel like it blends out as easy. So what I do is I just grab a little lighter. For some reason my lighter's out of gas, so I'm going to show you right now. Just with using this little match, it applies so much creamier. Then I go in with that same brush to blend all of that out. I do put my contour lately a little bit higher so that when I buff it out, it doesn't get too low on my cheek and it looks like I have like a saggy contour. But it's totally matte. Like if I zoom you in and you look at that, it's like really, really matte and it looks like my skin, but better. Like this is why I love Fenty Beauty so much. I can't even say anymore. Okay, so for concealer, I have a few favorites, but the first that I absolutely adore to do like so many things on the face. This is the NARS Soft Matte Complete Concealer. I have the color Amande. I actually have caramel as well, but I mostly use Amande on a daily because it's the perfect color for my brows, and then I go underneath my eyes with it. Sometimes if I'm using this, I use Amande and caramel just underneath my eyes, but today I'm going to go in with my second favorite concealer as well, which is the Tarte Shape Tape. Now I think this is probably everybody's like 2017 favorite concealer, although I believe it came out in 2016, but I only just recently tried it. So I'm going to just pick up my beauty blender and stick this straight into the concealer, and I just twist it around a little bit, and this gives you a really natural finish. And I'm just going to go in and dab that concealer underneath the eyes and take it all the way up to my nose. And that is absolutely enough product to give you like the brightest under eye. So now that's all blended out, I'm going to use my favorite setting powder, which is the Sacha Buttercup powder. I've been using this powder for years and years, but I ran out, and so I was trying a whole bunch of powders this year, but I went back to the Sacha Buttercup because it is the best, most buttery, like gorgeous complementary setting powder for my complexion. I think a powder with like yellow undertones just works the best for me and goes great with this combination of concealer. So my favorite brow product of 2016 is actually the Benefit Precisely My Brow, but I've been through like 4 of them and they're actually very expensive. I think they're $26 a brow pencil. That's like $100 in brow product, only to keep running out. And so my second favorite is the ABH Dip Brow Pomade in Ebony. So I have this one, which I absolutely love as well, but then this started to dry out and I was getting a little bit frustrated because it wasn't giving me the kind of brow that I wanted, and I was like, okay, I probably have to buy a new one because I have like put little oils in this to like revive it, but it's just like not the same formula as the original formula. So then I picked up the Benefit Ka-Brow, and this, I mean, it's, you know, it's not dip brow, but it is so like perfect between dip brow, which is like really creamy and I always pick up way too much product, and this I think is like slightly drier but a really beautiful consistency for a perfect flawless brow. So today I'm going to go in with this because this is a newer favorite, but definitely it falls into my 2017 favorites for brow products. So I'm going to finish up my brows off camera and then I'll be back with the most snatched brows you ever seen. Okay, I have my brows on and I just wanted to show you how I set them. I use the Anastasia Beverly Hills Clear Brow Gel, and I just run this from the inner corner, kind of pushing the brow hairs up. I have very short brow hairs over here, so it doesn't do like too much, but I do feel like it keeps everything in place. Before I move on to eyes, I want to actually finish the rest of my face. I wiped away that baking powder as well, and sometimes I feel like if I bake for too long, like I did today, I have a little bit of baking powder that Sacha Buttercup makes me look a tad bit ashy. So I have this trick, which is like my favorite thing to do, and I'll show you in a little bit as I start to set my face. So the first thing that I do when I start to set my face is I take the Studio Fix powder. This is the MAC powder in NW45. Now this is like, I think this is like the first high-end makeup item I bought when I was like 14 or 15 years old. And so what I do is I just grab a big fluffy brush, I swirl my brush into here, And I set the rest of my face. And then when my face is set, I take 2 mineralized skin finishes. So the first one is in medium tan and the second one is in dark deep. Now let me tell you, this is like the most perfect, these are the most perfect finishing powders I've come across. I just love what they do to the face. So I take the mineralized skin finish and I just go over kind of this perimeter of where I had baked. And I soften that up to warm that area up, tone down a little bit. And then my favorite thing to do is to go in with this Morphe sponge. It has this perfect angle over here. And I take the medium tan, I just dip this end in. And then I clean up my contour very, very softly. It's almost like you can't even see what I did. But it just defines that area really nicely. So my favorite contouring product is going to be of absolutely no surprise to you. It's the ABH Contour Kit in Tan to Deep. Now what I like to do is take the deepest shade, which is this guy over here, and just take any contouring brush of your choice, dip it into that deep shade, and just run it straight along there. So my favorite single blush is the MAC blush in the color Raisin. This is like the perfect, most timeless, stunning blush shade, especially for deeper skin tones. But then I discovered this blush palette. Now, this is a 6-pan blush and kind of bronzer palette. You can contour with this deep shade, which I have done in the past, but it is like a little bit harsh for what I'm doing today. And so my favorite blush shade is this guy over here. It's the color Neo. Now these blushes are highly pigmented, so you have to have a light hand and tap off your brush. Otherwise you're going to end up with a lot of blush. Not that I'm opposed to it. I actually like probably more blush than the normal person. Okay, so for highlighter, I have a few products. I try not to go too crazy, so I'm going to show you my top 4 favorite products. This is the Cover FX Custom Enhancer Drops, and I think this is the color Candlelight. It is this really beautiful, like bronzy highlight, so stunning. And then another thing that I like to do, it looks really, really good this way, is just to put a little bit of it on a beauty blender. Just take a little bit on the back of my hand or my wrist, and I pick some up with a beauty blender. I almost blend it into my hand, and then I go into the area that I want to highlight. You could use just this by itself and have a very natural glow. So my next favorite is the MAC. I feel like this is like a MAC ad, but really these are the products that I use every single day. So my next favorite is the MAC Mineralized Skin Finish. This is in the color Gold Deposit. This is probably like every black girl's favorite highlighter from MAC, because it's like, I mean, come on, how could this not be? And then my next one is by Ofra. This highlight is in Blissful. I have like hit pan on the center of this, but I have another one, so I ain't tripping. But these two combined are really, really, really pretty. Okay, so now we're mostly done with the actual face part, and I'm going to move on to the eyes, but I'm going to set all of that. And I picked up actually an empty one, which shows you how much I love this stuff. This is the Urban Decay All Nighter Setting Spray. This is a setting spray that I use every single day. It doesn't matter if I'm wearing like the lightest amount of foundation or full cake face. Like, this is the way to go. And then I read like in little fine print that this is made by Scandinavia, which has like the makeup primer spray, the makeup setting spray, like the best bridal spray ever. And so that is why I love this stuff so much. If you have not tried this, if you have oily skin, if you wear a lot of makeup, if your makeup moves, if you wear makeup and you're in a place that you sweat, like, gosh, I could recommend this for all and every single reason. Oh my gosh, I almost forgot to mention my other favorite highlight palette, which is the Nicole Guerrero and Anastasia Beverly Hills highlight palette. Now this guy, like, I have to be really careful opening it because I dropped it and I broke one of the shades. Oh, look how sad this is. I haven't even like put it back together. But this is my palette. Oh my god. Okay, so I'm going to move on to eyeshadows now. I've set my lids and everything. And I'm going to show you 3 highlighting palettes. The first one is the Juvia's Place Masquerade palette. Now this is the Masquerade Mini. Actually, I have 4 palettes. Okay, so I'm going to talk through these real quick just so you know what they are. And like, if you guys want me to do tutorials on any of these palettes, just leave it in the description box and I'll make sure that I get that up for you. This is the Masquerade Mini by Juvia's Place. I love this palette. Like, okay, Juvia's Place palettes, like, if you don't know, if you never tried, like, you have to get on it because they're some of the most pigmented palettes on the market. But this palette is my favorite. Reason being is because right down here is like an everyday palette here, if you just ignore that part. So when I do colorful looks though, my favorite colorful looks to do are like purple tone and pink tones. Blues, like, I'm kind of getting into, but I don't love as much. And this has exactly that. So if I was to travel and not have any other palette with me, this could be the perfect palette to go with because it has my everyday situation over here. It has colors as well, and they just like, there's so much versatility. It's so stunning. I'm so obsessed. I've like filmed like quite a bit of stuff with this, I think. So the next palette I think is in everybody's favorites of 2017 video, and that is the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette. I'm gonna pull it out the box right quick. This palette is, yeah, I don't know that it needs an introduction or anything really, but this is like one of the most loved palettes of 2017. I'm not going to talk a ton about it because so many people have. All I'm going to say is that I need to do more tutorials with this. So if you see me in 2018 incorporating this a lot more than you have in the past, then you know why. If you don't have this palette, I encourage you to get it. I do believe that it is a staple. It is $38 on Morphe.com. It is so worth it. It is like a great palette for your kit. If you're a makeup artist, it's a great beginner's makeup palette. It's just everything. There's so much that you can do. The pigmentation is great. The formula is slightly different than the regular Morphe palettes. Gosh, I don't know that there's much more that I can say about it, but I don't look at this palette and go, oh, if only it had a black. It has a black. If only it had a neutral color for my transition, it has that. If only it had a brow bone highlight, it has that. So the next palette that I absolutely love is a brand new one. This is the Dare to Create 39A palette. Now I'm putting it in my favorites of 2017 because it did come out in 2017. I'm actually giving one away in a giveaway that ends this Saturday, so it'll be the 12th of January. If you watch this before that, you still have time to enter into that giveaway. I'll link the video that I'm doing the giveaway for that in the description box, so you can head over to that video, watch it, and enter as well for a chance to win this palette. I went to Miami for Christmas to go just see my family, and this is like the only palette that I took, and every single day I was like so adventurous with my eye looks because there was so much, like there's so much to do. I'm kind of obsessed with this shade over here. I think it's called Create. I'm obsessed with that color. Okay, and then the last palette that I'm going to tell you about is the Huda Beauty Mauve Obsessions palette. These are these like little travel size, bite-sized palettes. I believe they're $27. You can get them at Sephora.com or Sephora in store. They have like the perfect size tiny little pans over here. Initially I was like, $27 is a lot, but it really isn't when you look at how much you're getting and how like well used I think this is going to be even in the coming year. For me, this can go in your handbag. You could take this to work and like do your eyeshadow like before you go out, like from work if you're going straight to somewhere. It has a mirror, which is perfect. I think this was like well thought. The combinations of the other ones as well, which I don't have, but I've seen a ton of reviews and I've just seen them. The combinations are wonderful. I'd like to get my hands on every single one of them because they're just bae. This palette is bae. So I've zoomed you in a little bit for the eyeshadow part of this tutorial. I'm not going to talk through everything that I'm doing. I'm just going to point through because I just kind of want to listen to some music and have you watch this part of the tutorial. Okay, so now that we're done with the eyes, I'm going to talk a little bit about what I did with my eyes. Obviously, I used the Jaclyn Hill palette, which you saw me use already. And then I went in with my favorite glitter liners, which are the Urban Decay Heavy Metal Glitter Liners. The gold is the Midnight Cowboy and the silver is Glam Rock. I love mixing them together, as well as like doing what I did today, which is like kind of an ombre with the silver on the inner corner fading into the gold, and it looks really stunning like if you just have this like and really big lashes on. My favorite lash of the year I'm not wearing today, but they're the Lily lashes in Miami, but I have been wearing the Morphe lashes since I got sent them a couple of weeks ago. Even though these are kind of newer to my collection, these are $10 for the lashes that I'm wearing today, and they're in the style Sophisticated, and I've been wearing a brand new Morphe lash every single day, and I'm so shook as how stunning they are and how diverse the styles are. For my lips, there are so many lip combinations I could tell you about, so I'm just going to show you the classic lip color that I've been enjoying like throughout the year. Almost every day, if you see me with a matte lip or a glossy lip, it is basically using these 3 same steps. So I go in with the MAC lip liner in the color Chestnut to line my lips, and then I go directly afterwards with the Anastasia liquid lipstick in the color Ashton. This is like the most perfect nude matte liquid lipstick for deep dark skin tones, I am convinced. And then the last thing that I do is go on with a gloss over top. I alternate the gloss, but the one that I've pretty much gone back to every single time without a doubt is the Sunset Strip Lip Gloss, and this is by ABH as well. Okay, I think we're at the end of this tutorial. Okay, you guys, there's one product that I left out and I can't believe that I forgot it. It is the Laura Mercier translucent powder. This is in the color Medium Deep. Now, I have the regular Laura Mercier powder, and I was like a little bit indifferent about it. I'd use the RCMA more often than not. And then I discovered this Laura Mercier powder, and it is pure perfection. No flashback, no ashiness, goes like incredibly on days where I think I over highlight my under eye. I can just go over with this right in that section, and it tones everything down. I can set the rest of my face with it. I can I can clean up my contour with it, like everything. I love this so much, and sometimes I even just put like primer on and then dab this into the oily areas of my face, buff it into the skin like really lightly, and have like a no makeup day, and it just makes me feel like my pores are a little bit smaller, my complexion's a little bit more even, and it's perfect. So yes, that is now everything from my favorite or best of 2017. If you have a product that you absolutely loved in 2017, please comment down below and let me know what that product is. I'd love to see the kind of makeup that you guys love, and it will help me discover new products as well. If you guys enjoyed this video, definitely give it a thumbs up, as well as subscribe to my channel if you have not already. And when you subscribe, hit the notification bell so that you're notified every single time I upload a video. That just makes sure that you don't miss out on any of my content, and it comes straight to you as soon as it's up. I post videos daily at 8 p.m. PST, so check back in tomorrow for a brand new video. You can also follow me on my social media. I am on Instagram all day, every day. I am on Facebook, I'm on Twitter and Snapchat. I'm not so great with Twitter and Snapchat, but I'm trying, so if you guys find me on there, we can grow together on those platforms as well. Otherwise, thank you so much for watching. Love you guys so much. God bless you. I hope you've had a wonderful day, and I will see you in the next one. And remember, don't let anybody dim your glitter. Bye.